Hi, my name is Jalen Marshall, and I'm going to be interviewing my boyfriend for the Leadership Styles interview. So, the first habit I'm going to ask you about is habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. Begin in the end in mind is based on all things that are created twice. Do you try to plan things out, or do you try to just do things on a whim? So, my question for you is, do you plan things out with the end in mind, or do you do things on a whim just to do it, or how do you go about that?
Always good to have a goal, plan it out. But that doesn't necessarily mean that things are always going to go to plan, and you need to be open to different solutions that may not have been thought of to solve certain issues, whatever you may run into.
Okay, so that kind of goes into the second habit. If you plan things out, do you think things as a win-win situation? So, habit number 4, think win-win, is do you try to get things out of a situation? Do you want it to be win-win, win-lose? Do you always want things to be a fair deal, or do you want to get something out of a situation?
Well, I think always when dealing with other parties and people you have to work with, there's always going to be compromises. So finding some type of middle ground where both parties can work together or gain something is obviously the most ideal situation.
Good, it's good how you see things both ways. The last habit is habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Would you say that you typically try to explain yourself before getting to know others, or do you try to get to know people first before introducing yourself?
100% try to get to know people first. Going in blind without knowing how something works or what type of a person someone is not good in a business interaction. You want to be prepared. You want to know your stuff. You want to make sure that you've thought of every scenario and can come up with the solutions if something is presented for you to you. You want to be able to solve those.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good way to think about it in like a business standpoint. So after the 3 habits comes the 3 different types of leadership. The first one would be to be a visionary leader, someone who tries to create a vision and make it a reality and influencing others. So the traits would be seeing things differently, helping others see things differently, and turning that vision into reality. Do you try to show people a different way of thinking about things?
I kind of always try to take that other side um, because that's how you can lead way to give a middle ground, right? If you can give perspective, give a different value of opinion. Now, that's not always an easy thing to do. That's probably one of the hardest things to do, dealing with people and different types of characters.
So the next type of leadership style is a situational leadership, which means it's a style where managers and business owners must create a style that fits their own situation and their team's workflow the best. The traits are being knowledgeable and open, being flexible. You must be able to understand the needs of all of your work and team members. Do you think you can change the way you lead people based on who you're with?
Yes, I think that's essential in communicating and communicating with a diverse number of people. Um, that's something that's needed.
Awesome. Okay, so the last leadership style is being a charismatic leader, which is defined by someone who uses their communication skills, persuasiveness, and charm to influence others. The traits are good communication, being mature, and having a sense of humility. Do you think it's important to be a good communicator and be mature in situations with all different types of people?
Yes, it's definitely important.
So, to wrap everything up, after interviewing my boyfriend about the different leadership styles and traits he possesses, I would say I definitely learned that he is a very good communicator and he is able to kind of use his communication skills to persuade others and seeing a different vision. He's able to communicate with others and see how they work best in every situation, so kind of being a situational leadership. And he's also a very good communicator and being mature and having a sense of humility in his charismatic leadership style. He also uses all three of the habits, habit number 2, habit number 4, and habit number 5. So he kind of plans things out to have an end in mind. He thinks in a win-win situation so that every deal is fair. And he also seeks to understand people before he explains himself. Thank you!